I know it is extremely difficult to pronounce, so you can call me George. It's gonna be much easier for you. I'm a Warsaw tourist guide, and today I would like to show you as much as possible in a time we have.
After having checked into the hotel in Warsaw on 1st May 2026 on arrival, we soon refreshed ourselves and got ready by 6 p.m. for the city tour. The coach was ready and there was also a local guide present. It was the Central European summertime and the duration of daytime was more than night, with sun setting around 8 or even later and rising by 5 or even earlier. The twilight time would also last for another 40 minutes after sunset.
In the same time, on the right, you are going to see a big park. It is like a little bit like Hyde Park in London. So people can come here, make a barbecue, spend their time. There are a few bars. You can go on a lawn, and it's manageable. So it is not the exact city center yet, but we can say we're very close. You can see a white and red flag, symbol of Poland. It is a white eagle on a red field. That's why our flags are white and red. In the same time, you may see yellow and red flags. Yellow is a symbol of gold mermaid on the red field, because a mermaid is a symbol of Warsaw, and yellow and red flags are flags of Warsaw. So you can see it only here, not in different cities of Poland. We will be turning left, and in a second you should see all the skyscrapers of this modern city center. Here we are, in front of you. The building with this big spire you can see on the left, it is a Warsaw Tower building, the highest building of the European Union, 310 meters, and there is also a viewing terrace on a height of 240 meters, so it is like a new attraction in Warsaw. The presidential the skyscraper with a presidential award. It's a hotel, one of 5 stars hotel in Warsaw, and the rest are mostly offices. In a second you are going to see Palace of Science and Culture, a skyscraper built in a completely different style, because it is the oldest skyscraper during your trip. The name of this alley, John Paul II alley. Poland is a very Catholic country. We are very proud of the fact we had a Pope. So every single main street in any city of Poland is named John Paul II. So if you are on John Paul II Street, it means...
Warsaw, the capital of Poland, is a resilient global city known for completely rebuilding its historic center after the devastation of World War II. Situated on the Vistula River, it seamlessly blends meticulously restored historic architecture with a booming ultra-modern skyline of glass skyscrapers. The city serves as Poland's political, economic, and cultural hub, balancing its tragic wartime history with a vibrant, forward-looking energy. Every great city has a defining characteristic. Paris has its romance, New York has its relentless pace, Tokyo has its neon-lit future, but Warsaw has an unbreakable spirit. They call it the Phoenix City, a metropolis that has died and been reborn more times than almost any other capital on earth. When you first arrive here, the contrast hits you instantly. As you step outside the boundaries of the old town, the architecture shifts dramatically, dragging you into the complex geopolitical landscape of the mid-20th century.
And it is like a modern city center. Take a look at this Palace of Science and Culture. It's gonna be for all of you on your right, because it's a very weird building and a very weird architecture. It is typical for a style called socialism realism in architecture. It was a favorite style of Joseph Stalin. By the way, the architect was Russian, and all buildings workers came from the Soviet Union. But again, today it is a symbol of Warsaw, and it is also a monument of the history. I'll give you an example. Do you know the Rolling Stones band? So the first concert of Rolling Stones in this part of Europe was organized in this building on the right. In the same time, on the left, some modern skyscrapers. As you can see, everything is built after 1989, when we became independent again. Because until 1989, Poland was a communist country, and after we became independent, then we joined NATO, and then we joined the European Union.
Nowhere is the shift more imposing than the Palace of Culture and Science. Looming over the center of the city at over 230 meters, this massive socialist realist skyscraper is impossible to miss. It was built in the early 1950s as a gift from Soviet leader Joseph Stalin to the people of Poland. For decades, it stood as a stark reminder of Soviet domination and communist rule. Stand in the center of the city, and you are surrounded by a wall of ultra-modern glass skyscrapers that pierce the clouds. Turn your head, and you see the monolithic shadow of the Soviet era. Travel just a few minutes down the road, and you are stepping into a fairy tale grid of pastel-colored historic squares.
And take a look at your right and left right now. Lots of people, lots of pedestrians, closed street, again, bank holiday. The building in front of you, can you see it? Like a small skyscraper. It is Prudential. It was the highest building of Warsaw until 1939, and this building became a symbol because it was the first building built out of steel and concrete before the war. So despite the fact it was bombed many times by Nazis, this building survived as a ruin, of course, but still the building survived. Today, again, there is a luxury hotel inside, but this building is very important to us, and that's why there are two white and red flags on the top. When I'm talking to the back of this bus, when we are going to turn right, you are going to see this building on your left. We are turning right into Mazowiecka Street, Mazowsze. It is exactly a region when we live right now. So a capital of Mazowsze is Warsaw, and the capital of Poland is actually Warsaw. A beautiful building gallery of art, Zachęta. It's on the left. This building also survived the war. And can you see a grey fence? It's in front of us. It's gonna be on your left. Try to imagine that after 80 years, after the end of the Second World War, we are going to rebuild our last palaces destroyed by Nazis. So it was a Saski Palace, summer residence of one of kings of Poland, and after 80 years we are going to rebuild it. This is a big square on your left. On your left is called Piłsudski Square. It is like a main square of Warsaw, and Piłsudski is one of fathers of the Polish independence. On your left, you are going to see a small, building or monument. It is a grave of the unknown soldier, so the saintest place for all Polish people. You are going to see it on your left right now. On your right, the building closer to you, it is a building of the Polish Army, and the next one, Raffles Hotel, the next 5 stars hotel in Warsaw. And a monument of Marshal Piłsudski on your right.
This is a place where the past doesn't just exist in textbooks. It bumps shoulders with the future every single day. It has become a fascinating metropolis. This Central European powerhouse is quietly becoming one of the most vibrant, livable cities on the continent. To truly understand Warsaw, you have to start where its heart beats loudest, the Old Town, or in Polish language, Stare Miasto. Walking through these vibrant streets today, with their outdoor cafes, winding alleyways, and grand plazas, it feels as though these buildings have stood here for centuries. But there is a profound secret hidden beneath the pastel paint and the Baroque facades. None of this is truly old. In the final months of World War II, following the Warsaw Uprising, Adolf Hitler ordered the city to be systematically erased from the map. Specialized demolition squads went building by building, blowing up churches, palaces, and homes. By 1945, 85% of Warsaw lay in absolute smoldering ruins. The old town was nothing but a mountain of grey rubble.
It's gonna be like 300-400 meters tour, probably not longer. We have like 25 minutes just to see the most important part of the city, because the lunch we have a delay because of the name of this square, Theater Square, Jabłonowski Palace. Today there are lots of companies inside, including banks like Citibank, for example. And this huge building we are going to see on another side of the street, it is a National Theatre and Opera. So that's why it is a theater.
But the people of Warsaw refused to let their city die. In one of the monumental acts of collective determination in human history, the citizens returned to the rubble. Armed with historic paintings by the 18th century artist Bernardo Bellotto, old photographs and architectural drawings saved by professors before the war, they began to rebuild. Piece by piece, brick by brick, they reconstructed the entire historic center from scratch. They pulled original ornamental fragments out of the debris and integrated them back into the new walls. By the time they were finished, the reconstruction was so precise, so full of love and dedication, that UNESCO declared the entire area a World Heritage Site. When you look at the Royal Castle today, or the Warsaw Mermaid statue guarding the center of the market square, you aren't just looking at beautiful architecture. You are looking at a master class in human resilience. You are looking at a testament to a people who proved that you can destroy physical walls, but you can never break a nation's soul. Even today, it remains a point of deep conversation among locals. Some view it as a scar of foreign oppression, while younger generations see it simply as an iconic, retro-futuristic anchor of the city's skyline. Today, it houses theaters, cinemas, museums, and an incredible observation deck that gives you a bird's eye view of the entire metropolis. But Warsaw's 20th century story runs even deeper into the shadows. This city was the site of the Warsaw Ghetto, where hundreds of thousands of Jewish citizens were imprisoned by Nazi forces before being sent to concentration camps. Monuments, quiet brass strips embedded in the city sidewalks, and fragment walls serve as solemn markers of where the ghetto boundaries once stood. Through world-class institutions like the Warsaw Uprising Museum and the Polin Museum of the history of Polish Jews, Warsaw doesn't hide its scars, it honors them. The city ensures that the stories of the heroes who fought back in the dark are never forgotten, anchoring the city's modern identity in a deep appreciation for freedom. If the first half of Warsaw's story is about survival, the second half is about an absolute explosion of progress. Following the fall of communism in 1989, Warsaw didn't just step into the free market world, it sprinted. Today, this city is the undisputed financial and economic engine of Central Europe. If you look around the business district of Wola, you might mistake it for Manhattan or London. Glass towers twist and soar into the sky, creating one of the most impressive skylines on the continent. Towering above them all is the spectacular Warsaw Tower. Standing at 310 meters, it holds the title of the tallest building in the European Union, a towering exclamation point on Poland's economic success story.
And what is this a church?
It is a church, Sant'Anna Church. Sant'Anna Church.
Sant'Anna Church, Catholic Church.
Catholic Church.
Okay.
Global tech giants, financial institutions, and creative startups have flooded into the city, turning Warsaw into a massive regional tech hub. The energy here is young, ambitious, and fast-paced. You can feel this contemporary pulse in the city's culinary and social spaces. Old, abandoned communist factories and historic marketplaces have been beautifully repurposed into trendy industrial food halls like Hala Koshaiki and Norblin factory. Here, local chefs, artisans, and musicians gather, blending global food trends with traditional Polish hospitality. Warsaw is a city that successfully left the economic hardships of the past behind, reimagining itself as a hyper-connected, wealthy, and forward-looking global hub. With all of this rapid development and economic hustle, you might expect Warsaw to feel like a stressful concrete jungle. But that is perhaps the biggest surprise the city has to offer. Warsaw is incredibly green. In fact, over a quarter of the city's surface area is comprised of parks, gardens, and green spaces. The crown jewel of these spaces is Warsaw Park, the Royal Baths. Spanning over 76 hectares, it is a magnificent oasis right in the center of the city. As you walk along its shaded paths, you are accompanied by roaming peacocks and historic neoclassical architecture, including the breathtaking palace on the Isle, which looks as if it is floating gracefully on the water. If you visit during the summer, the air here is filled with music as world-class pianists perform free outdoor Chopin concerts beneath the monument of Warsaw's favorite musical son, Frederick Chopin. But to truly see where the soul of modern Warsaw relaxes, you have to head to the Vistula River. Unlike many European cities that have tightly hemmed in their rivers with concrete walls, Warsaw has kept one side of the Vistula completely wild and natural. It features pristine sandy beaches and protected bird reserves right across from the city center. On the opposite bank runs a beautifully designed promenade. As the sun begins to set, thousands of locals gather here. They ride bikes, drink coffee at pop-up riverside bars, and sit on the concrete steps to watch the sky turn orange over the water. It is a beautiful display of balance, a city that knows how to work hard, but also knows exactly how to slow down and enjoy life. As our journey through Warsaw comes to an end, it becomes clear that this city cannot be defined by just one era or one style. It is a complex, beautiful tapestry. It is the sorrow of the past, preserved so we never forget. It is the triumph of the present, built by a generation that refused to give up. And it is the promise of a green, innovative future. Warsaw teaches us a profound lesson. It shows us that history does not have to dictate your future, and that even from the absolute lowest points of destruction, something magnificent can be built. It is a city that honors its scars, celebrates its daily life, and looks forward the future with unwavering confidence. If you ever get the chance to walk these streets, Look past the beautiful facades and the gleaming towers. Look at the spirit of the place. Because the true magic of Warsaw isn't just what was rebuilt, it is the fact that it never stopped rising. Warsaw is a highly homogeneous society. Over 96% of residents identify as ethnically Polish and speak the official language Polish. It's predominantly Roman Catholic, consisting of roughly 85 to 90% of the population. Small Orthodox and Protestant minorities also exist. Prior to World War II, Warsaw was a multi-ethnic city where roughly 30% of the population was Jewish. Following the destruction of the war and geopolitical shifts, it became almost entirely Polish-centric, a status that is only now shifting due to modern globalization. Pope John Paul II, born Karol Joseph Wojtyła in Wadowice, Poland, is widely regarded as one of the most influential figures in modern Polish history. Elected on October 16, 1978, he became the first non-Italian pope in 455 years and used his historic 26-year pontificate to fundamentally alter the political landscape of his homeland. His deep bond with Poland served as the catalyst for the moral, spiritual, and structural collapse of Soviet-backed communism in Eastern Europe. Every year on October 16, the country celebrates Pope John Paul II Day. Thousands of streets, schools, and monuments bear his name. Marie Skłodowska-Curie, born Maria Salomia Skłodowska in Warsaw, is one of Poland's most revered national icons. Globally recognized as Madame Curie, her profound connection to her homeland shaped both her personal identity and her pioneering scientific work. Despite spending her adult professional life in France, she remained a fiercely patriotic Pole who used her global platform to advocate for an independent Poland. Following her historic double Nobel Prizes, physics in 1903 and chemistry in 1911, she used her international influence to directly benefit Polish science. She named the element polonium to explicitly honor her native country. When we finished the city tour of about 2 hours, we had a sumptuous dinner at a Chinese restaurant and then went back to the hotel for the night. The following morning, after breakfast, we would be having a long drive of about 6 to 7 hours to another country, Lithuania, to its capital city, Vilnius, more than 500 kilometers away. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next episode.